Welcome to another episode of The Happy Butcher. Today we got two deer, a male and a female. Rather large. I'd say the male's between 70 and 80 kilograms, the female's around 60. The hunter caught them in snare traps and shot the female deer with an air gun. However, the male deer, because of the horns, made its skull too thick, so the air gun pellet wouldn't go through. So he had to knock the male deer on the head with a bat, and when it was unconscious, speared it. But while he was spearing it, it kicked really hard and kicked his spear away. So it was really dangerous. So those are some of the dangers of hunting and spearing these animals. And these things are lethal, so you definitely got to be careful. But yep, this is a huge load. This is over 150 kilograms, so this is going to be a bit of a doozy to get out. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, shit. It's not even moving. Finally, there we go. Woo. All right. I'd say let's haul the female deer out. Probably be a little bit easier to do. I bet this female deer is carrying. The hunter said around beginning of April to the middle of April, the Japan hunting season is closed. I don't know, they give some kind of rest period for the deers to have babies, I guess. I don't know, maybe they feel bad about killing full-term deers with full-term babies. Maybe it's just too traumatic for, I don't know, people around. Traumatic for hunters, I don't know. Traumatic for somebody for some reason or another. They don't hunt for the beginning and middle part of April. So, a bit of a loss for us. That is huge. Whew. You can see the spear mark right there. Oof. I was kind of racking my brain about today's topic. And pretty much, since no one really is going to watch this channel anyways, I thought it would be kind of cool to make it some kind of memoir, of my life, maybe. In the future, kids or grandkids might be kind of interested about where they came from, how they are. I mean, my family does keep a running family history, but it's really how would you say, sterile. People write what they want you to hear. They only let you see what they want you to see. And it certainly doesn't give the whole picture. Because people are much more than, say, what jobs they did, how many kids they had, what hobbies they did and such. There's a lot more to people than that, that's for sure. So maybe today I'll talk about the things that I think I would personally find interesting if I were learning about someone's life. So yeah, it's great and dandy to hear about all the normal things. But, oh, sorry, I'm gonna have to use all my strength to get this guy up. Oof. Here we go. Oof. Oof. Yep. Get up there. Whoa, Daddy. Get up there. Well, definitely more than the easy and good things that people have in their lives, I think it's the more difficult and challenging pursuits that paints a better picture of that human. The experiences and hardships they've been through. I mean, compared to people in the past who've been through wars and extremely difficult situations, I can't really say that I can compare myself to those people, but certainly there were hardships or experiences that were big to me, so that's maybe interesting enough. But yeah, the topic today, damn it, this shit is slipping. I want to talk about, because there's so much talk about gender and LGBTQ stuff, is what my heterosexual upbringing was like in the 1980s. Shit, where the hell did the... okay. So, sexual ideas, weren't pushed upon us too much in the 80s. It was just something for us to naturally kind of discover and, find out for ourselves. Yeah, a lot of people in the 80s were homophobic, even in Los Angeles. So, if it was like in LA, you can imagine maybe how bad that might be in a more rural area. Oh man, this is fucking huge. This has got to be 80 kilograms. It's like pulling me plus 20 kilograms up. Ugh. Oh shit. Ugh. This is a fucking obese deer, motherfucker. Ugh. 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 Getting there. Getting close. All right. We're up the hill. Maybe let's tackle this Big Daddy first. Nice, we got him hooked on. All down here from here. Downhill from here. All right. Let's start. Whew. So, growing up in the 80s, well, I guess I have to first state that I'm growing up as an Asian American. Maybe it's a little bit different than maybe other races, I'm sure. But, I mean, biologically, there are a lot of similarities. So, sexuality, I say for me, didn't begin in my teenage years. No. I would say sexuality for me started as early as kindergarten. And why? It's because I remember my first elementary school teacher in my kindergarten. I had a crush on her, you know. She was a much older lady, but she was a woman, you know. I noticed her a lot more than, say, other girl or boy classmates, because that was the first, I guess, sexual kind of female, I guess, you know, other than my sister or my mother, who I never really thought of as sexual, or females, of course, until much later. So yeah, my preschool teacher, I could not say I had a sexual attraction to her, but what was it? I guess you could say it felt like gravity was like pulling me. Gravity was kind of pulling me towards her, like gravity. Like, just this kind of interesting, like this interest. Like, you don't know, just you wanted to see her. You wanted to be around her. You wanted her to notice you. I guess that was a feeling in the beginning, you know. Of course, it didn't progress, but you noticed her, you noticed her movements, you noticed her face, her hair, body, her smell. Not in a sexual way, but just noticing, just like interesting, kind of a general interest. And that's how I guess my feelings of sexuality kind of began. And it was always towards like teachers or older women. Never really to classmates and stuff. So like a very, boy, this doesn't cut well, very early age, I just had a strange affinity towards older women. Just something about their maturity and, I don't know, grace, intelligence about them that was just fascinating to me. And then I clearly remember my first grade teacher, a really beautiful Caucasian woman. And I recall very, very clearly, everyone was gone to recess. I was kind of slow cleaning up my desk, getting ready to go to recess out with everyone else. And she was on her elbows, wiping the tables with a sponge. And her blouse came down kind of far, so I could see her boobs kind of hang down out of her bra. while she was wiping the tables. I really didn't think nothing of it, but it just seemed like a really interesting thing to look at. It just piqued my interest. I don't know why. Something very, very primal and very, very innate just kept me staring at her. Oh, that doesn't look good. And yeah, I noticed the same things. I noticed her hair, perfume, the necklace around her neck, her skin, body, clothes, and just seemed more interesting than other things. And the same thing happened when I was hanging around the apparatus, just kind of like monkey bars, except it was kind of shaped like a rocket ship. And I would sit there with one of my, I guess, more perverted friends. I didn't realize it at the time. But he would always convince me to sit under the apparatus, looking up above at the girls who were playing above in their skirts. The girls are playing above the apparatus, and we could just look right up their skirts from the bottom. My friend was like, I don't know, maybe he was ahead of the game, more ahead of the game than I was. And we would just stare, looking at the girls, first grade girls, pink, white cotton panties. And, we're first graders, we don't know what we're thinking, but my friend did. Maybe he had kind of perverted older brothers or something like that. But yeah, it was just like gravity again, You're just like gravitating to it. You don't know why, but it's just a strange feeling of interest and fascination for some reason. And I guess that's how it kind of starts, So yeah, that was first grade. And going through elementary school, I don't know. You hardly notice race. You hardly notice sex differences. Except unless they're extremely standoutish. Like, I think I remember my fourth grade had a really big crush on a lot of white girls. And I think it was because they looked like the girls that were on TV. Really beautiful and like some like literally looked like Barbie dolls. So I guess sexually speaking, those girls stood out to me, even though, this stinks. I didn't even know what that was. Just had a strange gravitation or attraction towards them. Boy, oh boy, this meat looks like it's like half rotting. That's not good. Okay. So yeah, I had some crushes in elementary school. Not to any one particular race or type, but certainly the girls who were Caucasian, for some reason they stood out a bit more, or Asian. Oh, boy, this is getting a little stinky now. It's getting a lot warmer. By junior high school, yeah, those feelings definitely got stronger and stronger. I think I even could notice some gay friends, even though they didn't themselves know they're gay, but they walked and talked a little bit different, and it seemed that they were always going along with a bit of the homophobia ideals at that time, which I'm sure probably hurt them a lot in the future. So yeah, I had some crushes, particularly with fellow Japanese American girls, because I guess I felt that those are the girls I should be with because they're kind of like me. Of course, I did play basketball with them, so that was a big thing. So I guess I was a little bit closer with them than other people. But yeah, I definitely think I got brainwashed by my parents to like people who are very similar to me, because I guess that's how my parents were brainwashed. Anyways, this isn't about brainwashing, it's more about sexuality. So yeah, I've had some big crushes. I had a nice crush on a cute German girl, and of course some JA girls that were in my school at the time. I mean, like, real crushes, like my heart would just start palpitating every time they came by. I guess that's how you knew, you were into them. That nervousness. And I dreaded to be seen with my parents while they were around. I would just duck away, embarrassed. And I think probably they did the same thing. So you're just kind of like so filled with your emotions at that time, you don't really notice other things so much. But anyways, yeah, even before that, I mean, I guess it was around junior high school time, 10, 11 years old, that I noticed stuff vibrating or touching my privates. Felt good. It felt really good. So my first experience of, I guess, what masturbation would be was being in the bathtub at this point alone, because I guess my mother started noticing around 7 or 8 that I started noticing she had boobs and were different. So yeah, from then on I was kind of taking baths alone. And while running the water under the bath, I let some of that water run on top of my penis, and it felt really good. So I got more into it. I started just waterboarding my penis, and I was like, wow, this feels really great. And I would try to get the water to go higher so it would hit me a lot harder. It should feel a lot better. I would even do that in the shower. I put a towel over the shower head and let it fall on me, and then be amazed at how good it felt. I'd even want that feeling so much, I would go to the back of parents' car and just start humping the seat in the back, the flatbed area. And I think my mother started noticing I was just humping things like an animal. So I think my parents, before piano lesson one time, threw a puberty book at me to help me kind of understand what's happening to my body and how it's changing, because they weren't really good with having conversations about sexual stuff. So that was kind of funny. So there's this book about sexuality explaining the birds and the bees and stuff, and a penis and a vagina and da-da-da-da. It wasn't very helpful to me because it didn't really show me how to masturbate, which is all I wanted to do. So I remember going to my dad's room and finding Playboys and such, and being really interested in those, a beautiful female form. And I actually remember finding a hardcore Japanese porno video that was censored in my dad's bedroom, and I played it. And it turned me off because it was just so violent, just hardcore animal fucking, and then the woman's just screaming like she's being attacked or something. And it just seemed so violent. But I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. It was just disgusting and just like fascinating at the same time, and interesting. Not in always a positive way. I would shut it off in disgust and then turn it back on again, and then shut off in disgust and turn it back on again. It was just weird, you know. So kind of learning about how I was programmed, how I have an urge to, I guess, want to breed, because that's how us biological creatures are. So yeah, I'd look at the erotic magazines and start humping stuff, humping my cushions, humping whatever, because I didn't really know how to touch myself. And I guess while I was covering, letting the water fall on my penis from the shower or bathtub, I noticed I had the experience peaked. I guess I had experienced my first orgasm. And yeah, when I was in the bathtub, I noticed kind of a ropey white liquid came out. And that kind of freaked me out, maybe like how a girl would feel if she got her first period and didn't know what was happening. I didn't know that was sperm, but I didn't know what that was. It just came out, and it was just kind of weird and slimy and sticky and ropey and shit. So yeah, that was that. And after that, I guess I started watching. I would like horror movies a lot, because yeah, they were thrilling. But the main reason, I guess, why I like cheesy horror movies, because there was always sex scenes, you know. So naturally, you kind of started associating sex with death, because all those horror movies had those scenes in them. This knife is just not sharp. Okay. So yeah, I'd go out of my way to rent these horror movies with my mom. We'd always go to the Blockbuster Video, because yeah, you could never go to the porn section with my mom, but could definitely rent horror movies. And basically, yeah, it was for the nudity scenes. So I'd run home and in the middle of the night, I guess, watch them and hump stuff. I just don't exactly remember when I'd hump until it came out, I guess. I don't think a lot came out at that time. I don't exactly remember when I learned to actually touch myself, like masturbate with my hand or anything. See, I'm circumcised, so I've never really experienced masturbating with foreskin, which I'd assume is a little bit easier, because you don't really need that much liquid or something. But when you're circumcised, yeah, it hurts to touch yourself directly. So there's a lot of things I didn't know. And I think the first lubricant I discovered was like mineral oil, baby oil, whatever you call it. And that was okay, except it kind of got a little bit messy and sticky everywhere. So that wasn't too cool, but it seemed to do the job for a while. Started getting into like hentai anime, especially with high school friends. It's like over-the-top sexual stuff. And I'd always like, try to imagine what it's like sticking it in a girl. Where the hole is and how my thing would fit into it, and kind of became a bit of an obsession. So I'd watch all these videos and study up on it and try to figure it all out. This is before the internet. So you just had to do it through magazines and stuff, try to think of how it works out, but you can never really figure that out so well, just through magazines and such. So every little printed piece of pornography was like a secret little treasure, I remember always walking around in the sidewalks, and there'd be a LA Express. LA Express is kind of like a porno newspaper type thing, just like sexual stuff right in your face, And one day I summoned the courage to throw in a few quarters and pull out these papers. And it was black and white, basically. Stripper sites, sex phone numbers, and stuff like that. And, I'd read the articles and see a lot of nude prints. I remember I treasured a piece of nude print like that under my bed, kind of like whacking off to it every night. So I definitely knew I liked females. I mean, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't anything I had doubted. I never thought there was any other way to like anyone. So it definitely wasn't culturally influenced. It was just pure genetic instinct, So maybe with, gays or lesbians out there, maybe feel a similar thing. I don't know. It does go against natural instinct, but people, I guess, love what they love and feel what they feel. But definitely, like, for me, for some reason, since a very young age, I was always interested in much older women, mature women than me. And that started from frickin' kindergarten to an adult. So I guess you could say that the experiences at that very young age, what I was exposed to, kind of beautiful young teachers, got me interested in them and older types of women. I think that was a very genetic thing. I don't know, to be interested and attracted to older women. Maybe like how some younger women are really attracted to older rich men with more resources, because it makes sense as far as the survival of the fittest, But why I would be programmed to like older women, I guess maybe an older woman who cannot find a mate is maybe an easier opportunity to procreate with. I guess that would make sense. Oh boy. Oh, these intestines are rotten. Ugh. Oh no, it's fucking raining again. Oh, shit. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This is going to someone who doesn't care if it's rotten or not. Yeah. Oof, I don't know how. But during my teenage years, my attraction to women, oh shit, turned away a bit to women my own age, because they're more readily around. Oof. Especially in school, when you can see more of them. always walking by, and yeah, really cute. So I guess for me, making myself cool was a priority, so women would come to me instead of me chasing them and looking pathetic. So yeah, definitely having your own car, being independent, and kind of like the Dark Knight kind of image is what I focused on. And that was during high school. Oh, man, this thing's gonna collapse. Woo! So I bought a cool car, dressed up like somebody of the 1950s to look kind of different. That's just my style, you know? And yeah, I attracted a weird girl, Japanese girl, kind of like me. And kind of stole her away from her boyfriend. Of course, he wasn't too happy about that, but we became cool after that. Spleen. And it was fun having a girlfriend, you know? It was it's like a drug. Just always happy, always thinking about them, always dreaming about them. And it's not all sexual. It's like just like gravity. You wanna be around them. You wanna see them. You wanna do things with them. Ah, shit. I tried to find the gallbladder last time. I just couldn't find it. Is it inside here? Man, I don't know. Isn't looking. Son of a... I don't know. Ah! There's nothing like being in love and someone else loving you. There's nothing else like that, you know? Oh man, there's just meat everywhere. Motherfucker. Ugh. Son of a bitch. Bones everywhere. Meat everywhere. Stomach everywhere. God damn it. Oh, shit. Graveyard. The fuck? Oh, boy. I gotta clean this up in the daytime sometime. This goddamn mess. I know everyone can experience like such a thing, but definitely if you don't experience that, hell, you're missing out. And you haven't loved until you've lost, that's for sure. So my first girlfriend was straight out of the homeschooling because I was insane for a few years in my life due to problems at home. She's a Korean American girl. We both had journalism together. And well, she was, senior, so she was on her way to become a doctor, so she just didn't have the time to hang out and be a good girlfriend. She had to, study. So I was stood up a lot. Can't be helped. I don't blame her. But eventually she had broken up with me, even though I should have been the one who broke it up. And we never even kissed, so we didn't go very far in a relationship. I guess held hands, but even that felt good, It wasn't always about sexual stuff, but definitely as a young teenager, you're really curious about that stuff, So my next girlfriend, she was a JA, and she was kind of a nutcase. Really typical teenager, kind of angry, upset at the world. I don't know why. Rebel without a cause. I think she had gone through a lot, for sure. She had an older college boyfriend, so I guess she was more into mature guys. And she noticed me right away. I noticed her, because she was, kind of weird and quirky, just like I was. So we definitely had that in common. Weird quirkiness. I remember running to meet her in the middle of school grounds after we finished class. We'd see each other, lock eyes, and start running towards each other and hug like we hadn't seen each other in years or something like that. Kind of like silly stuff like that, Cute, I guess. I remember first kiss was in front of a donut shop on a bus stop chair, and near her house. And my first kiss, I was 18. I was a late bloomer for sure. Better late than never. And it was the most amazing thing. I mean, to be intimate with someone, and your serotonin endorphins are like just off the charts as a teenager. Wow. Like, so I would say something like on the level of snorting cocaine or something like that. Like, you are just hooked. You just can't stop thinking. You breathe, sleep, and eat this person, And you just always want to be around each other. You talk on the phone at night. You have nothing else to say, but you just want to know that they're on the other side of the line with you, as if you're lying together, because as a high school student, that's about as close as you can get. So this was just before prom. I stole her from her boyfriend, so yeah, he wasn't too happy about that. But he found another date for prom anyways. And yeah, things just started escalating from there. I just always wanted to be with her. I always wanted to hold her hand. Always wanted to be touching her, be kissing her. And I think it was at a homecoming dance after party at a hotel near the airport. Yeah, I got to third base. We had both dropped some ecstasy tablets, and yeah, she was a little bit more open after that. No, she dropped some E. I was sober. I think I'd pretended to drop it to just go along with it. So I was kind of scared. But yeah, woo. I think I got my fingers in her that time. We weren't alone. I was with like other friends. But we were kind of hiding under the covers in the hotel room. My other friend was freaking out because his date saw the drugs and she freaked out. She was a Filipino girl. Really, really goody two-shoes. And my friend had dropped some E2. And she just wanted to go home. And he was just freaking out. That was kind of hilarious. He was freaking out and all sad and shit while I was fingering my girlfriend. All right. Time to get some bones. So we had discovered raves by then, and prom had finished, and at long last had gotten my chance to finally be with her. But after a few drinks, I think we went to a Hollywood club, and we came back, and she was a little bit drunk, and I thought this was it, this is my chance to be with her and lose my virginity. I don't know if she had her virginity or not. But, yeah, we ended up at my place. And in the middle of going at it, yeah, she fell asleep because she was so drunk. So you can imagine that didn't go very well. So it was a bit of a traumatizing experience. First experience. But was technically losing my virginity, so I guess now I could have the confidence that I wasn't a virgin anymore. So we'd kind of fallen apart after that experience. She was off to her own life, her own college, like most people after prom break up. And I think it was a bit after that. What was it? Yeah, I went to my friend's birthday party at a restaurant outside of Universal Studios. Cool Italian restaurant. There's a lot of Japanese Americans there too, who were like exchange students. I noticed one girl always smiling and laughing, and she was really attractive. And anyways, I didn't really have enough confidence to really approach anybody then, but I tried to make myself attractive too, smiling and laughing a lot. After the party, my friend's girlfriend, who was friends with this exchange student girl, gave my friend a call and said, hey, the girl at the party is kind of interested in you. You want to go on a date with her? She's asking if you're available to go on a date. And I was like, oh yeah, totally cool. I thought that was the girl I was looking at, but when I met up with her, it was actually a different girl. But she was also quite pretty, so I thought I'd give it a chance and go on some dates with her. And just to let you know, I'm attracted to girls who are attracted to me, so it kind of gives me more confidence that I have maybe a little bit of an upper hand. Sounds kind of a douche kind of thing to do, but that's just how I am. I guess I'm insecure. So anyways, this girl could barely speak any English, so communication, to say the least, was quite difficult, but we had other modes of communication. And I learned she was a virgin. Her father was a Yakuza, so that was a bit shocking. And very meticulously and slowly we went at it. but she was in a lot of pain, so it wasn't the best experience for either her or me. But, that wasn't the most important thing, of course. It's just a part of it, big part of it, but not the most important thing. Just being together, enjoying each other's company, and just, being together. That was the guts of it. That was the best. And I was so sad when she had to go back. I mean, it was a ticking time bomb. I knew she only had a month, basically. So it was like being with a terminally ill patient who would eventually leave me to go back to where she's from. So I knew I was setting myself up for heartbreak, but yeah, she was a really beautiful, kind girl, and I liked her a lot, so we made the best of our time together, and it's all anyone can do, right? Make the best of their time, however long or short it might be. And I saw her back on the airplane at LAX to go back home, and she was just bawling her eyes out. I was bawling my eyes out, and it was a really difficult experience. So we kept in touch a bit after that, but me being the, I guess, playboy that I was, soon found another girlfriend. Well, before that, okay, I'd gone to my sister to Brazil, and I thought to kind of get through my last girlfriend's woes of feelings of sadness, I go on sleeping with a bunch of hookers. And in the beginning, it was great. Helped me forget about everything. But as one hooker turned into two, tuner into three, I think I'd been with like 5 hookers. I just kept feeling lonelier and lonelier and sadder. And it was just a terrible feeling. And I learned that just sex would not make up for any of the loneliness I felt. And sex was just such a small part of the game of love and being with somebody. It's really small. So I met someone else in my dad's class. He had an English class, and after class, all the young people would kind of hang out and party together. So I joined some of those parties, and most of them were at least 10 years older than me. Very rarely I'd find someone my age, so they're a lot older. And a lot of losers, because a lot of the American guys would hang out in my dad's class just to pick up on young Japanese girls from Japan, like fresh off the boat, because they're easy targets. And at that time, yeah, Japanese, Asian girls were high commodity things. Unfortunately, that's how a lot of men saw Asian women. I just thought they're women because I'm Asian. Anyways, I met a much older woman, a very mature woman. She was 36, I was like 22, 21 maybe, even, so she's like 16 years older than me. And I don't know, I guess I was kind of lonely, and I wanted to be with someone, to have that, I guess, feeling I felt when I was with that other girlfriend. So I invested a lot of my time into this older woman. And yeah, I liked being around her. She was really nice. But when we hung out with my friends who were the same age, they really didn't like her because, yeah, she was old enough to be my mom. And that was really weird, and they felt uncomfortable. And they'd complain and say stuff like, she's got stretch marks. She sure doesn't already have a baby? She didn't, but yeah, it was kind of awkward bringing someone much older to hang out with my friends. But I didn't really care too much what my friends thought. I mean, I did sometimes, but for the most part, no. When it was just us, it was in our own world, you know? So as long as we're in our own world, it made me happy. And I noticed a lot that, yeah, she asked me to come inside of her, you know? She didn't say she wanted a baby, but it was obvious what she wanted. At that age, you know, being a woman, I guess I can't blame her. If you don't have a child at that age, you don't have any prospects, then there's not much opportunities for you, and that's like kind of like a genetic death sentence, you know. So I think women at that age, they would throw logic and all out the window and get whatever they can, you know. So yeah, I was there, and I willingly impregnated her with the thought that she would take care of the baby herself and I would, you know, be on my own. And I thought at first that's what she said was all she wanted, but of course after she got pregnant, maternal instinct started kicking in for me, and I thought I wanted to be a dad. I didn't want to leave my child fatherless, right? So I kind of fell into that fantasy for a while, thinking I was strong enough to do it, even though I was still mentally very much like a little child. And as you can imagine, it didn't go too well. And as soon as I told my family and friends about it, that she was pregnant, they all went apeshit. And I kind of broke out of my spell and woke up to realize what was happening. And unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately, unfortunately, I took my family side. So my mind was saying one thing and my instincts were saying a very different thing. My instincts, of course, were saying to be with her and take care of the baby. My mind said, be with your family. So the instincts, well, the choice to both be with my family and to follow my instincts, they just didn't match. And I did have stronger ties to my family because I knew they definitely wanted the best for me. And I guess I knew then that she wanted the best for her. many times while trying to get her pregnant, I did try to break up with her. Just maybe something inside me knew that maybe I was kind of fooling myself, that I just wasn't ready for this kind of thing. But she was quite persistent at calling me back and asking what I was doing, and never said she was lonely, but yeah, she always hinted it, And I think a lot of times I'd struck out with girls, and I was always kind of drawn back to her. So yeah, again, it has to do with that attraction I felt ever since I was in preschool, to older women. Definitely that instinctual side took over for me, maybe from a very young age. I guess maybe I discovered that's kind of how I was programmed. I don't know, but I don't really think it's any coincidence. Maybe I just knew from a very young age that genetically this is how I was designed. Genetically, this is how I move ahead. So she had the baby. I was there for the birth, and I was a happy dad. But all the while I knew I was still like a child, I wasn't ready to be a dad yet, because I was just only thinking of myself, and such a person would not be a very good father. So we parted ways. And well, that's way past puberty, but I think there's definitely a strong connection between my experiences as a young child and my experience as an adult, and where it's led me today. Well, now my biological daughter's in Guam, and she's all grown up, a beautiful young woman in college now, still sending support payments. And yeah, I like to see pictures of her and hear some news about her sometimes. And I'd like to meet her someday. I tell her I never forgot about her, and I always thought about her, and sorry I wasn't there for her. And it couldn't have been easy to grow up without a dad. I don't know what that was like, but definitely having both parents is a big advantage. But maybe when she gets older, she might want to, for her own sake anyways, to know where she's from, who her dad was, just to make her feel a little bit more whole, Because me knowing who my dad was definitely gave me a stronger sense of identity, and a little bit more insight as to know how I am too, because yeah, a lot of times the mango don't fall very far from the tree, and a lot of DNA is inherited from children, and children knowing kind of where they came from is a good thing to know, as far as feeling more maybe wholesome or not. It's up to the person, but I was certainly sad when my grandfather died, because I didn't know who the hell he was. My dad wasn't close to him, so that made me really sad. I felt like I was missing a part of myself by not knowing who my grandfather was. So I definitely made it a mission to learn more about that stuff. But anyways, getting off topic, I guess, well, getting into the more adult sexuality stuff isn't quite as significant as puberty, but, well, maybe it is. So I had to go through the stage of being with a hot chick, right? And being in Japan, it's a lot easier because everyone's Japanese and a lot of girls are really hot. So I got involved with a hostess girl, and she was just banging hot. No boobs, but banging hot. And the kind of girl you walk into a place and everyone notices you because you're with her. So it's an interesting feeling to be in a situation like that. But the reality of such a situation is that's pretty much it. If she's not really a good character, not really a wholesome person, then it gets old really fast and it's pretty pointless. You're just left with somebody you don't really like. And day by day, that attractiveness fades, definitely, really fast. So being with such a person was just not very fun. In bed, yeah, it was great. Dynamite in bed, but she had heart problems. So every time we get into it, she would ask me to stop because she felt like she was having a heart attack, which was how her mother died when she was young. So definitely some genetics right there. But on a day-to-day basis, yeah, it wasn't fun to be with her. It was just like being with a doll, you know? So, yeah, another lesson to learn of what you like, what you don't like, what's important, what's not important. Well, some people, image is more important than anything, so they don't mind being with somebody they don't like too much, but they look good around or makes them feel good about themselves because they're beautiful or handsome, so that's why they want to be with them. It's a very shallow reason to be with somebody, but yeah, some people value that. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me. Who cares about how other people see you? And besides that, they're going to get old someday. You're going to get old. And if that's no longer there, the beauty, then, well, what else is there, right? So you want to be sure the person you're with is because of who they are, and that won't go away too much with age, unless they become senile or something, but hell, we all become old and senile. So, yeah. So that didn't work out, and unfortunately I was dating another girl at the exact same time because I had broken up and gotten back together, and had unfortunately gotten back together and broken up with him at the same time. And I was dating both girls at the same time, which was very bad and made me feel really guilty. And at the time, the girl I was working with, my future wife, explained to me, if you do that to a girl, it means you don't like both of them. And that made a lot of sense, you know? So I ended up dumping one of them, and the other one dumped me. And yeah, started anew. And I met my wife, who I love for who she is. And she becomes beautiful more and more day by day because of her pure heart. And that's an amazing thing, to be around such a person with a kind and pure heart, loving heart. And I knew that would reflect into my children's lives too. So I feel very lucky and fortunate to have met someone like that. So yeah, all of my experiences from elementary school until now as a young adult, family and kids have led me to where I am now, which is in front of this deer at night in the middle of the forest. Oh wow, yep, we have another womb. Oh man, this looks huge. Whoa, this is huge. Whoa, this is the biggest one yet. Yep, this is the biggest womb yet. Okay, fuck it. I don't need to open it up. I know what's inside. If you want to see what's inside, go to the other videos. So, yeah, I guess my experiences of living life, sex is important for reproduction, but there's a lot more important things out there. But in order to realize that, I think you need to have a lot of sex so you can realize how important it is. It sounds silly, but you have to live and learn. So I think mistakes are a must. I guess it's the only way we can grow. All right, it's a spleen. You know, I could find the spleen, but I can't find the gallbladder. Oh, stomach. Yeah. Let's see. These are kidneys. So can people really go through life without any pain and grow? No, I don't think it's possible, you know? Is that the gallbladder? It looks like the fucking kidney. Man. I don't know what the gallbladder is. Is that a gallbladder? That's a stomach. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. So never lose track of what's important, you know? It's right around you. It's easy to oversee. But take care of the people around you. Whether it be family, friends, people that depend on you. The more you love, the more you'll be loved. But you cannot go with the intention of wanting love by giving love. You have to give selflessly, and it just comes back, and you can't expect it to come back. It just comes back naturally. Son of a... Oof. Wow, this is huge. Okay. Oof, discolored meat. I don't know what else to say. Who cares? I don't always have to say anything. Oh, wow. Running out of bags. Oh. Let's dump these. Oh, I need these baskets. So much shit everywhere. Oh, son of a... Wow. Okay. Almost done. Ah. Ooh. You know what? I don't need to separate this meat because the buyer is just picking everything up. So I could just chop this shit up as it is and pack it. That'll save a shit ton of time. I should have thought of that before. Dumbass. Oof. One thing I gotta say though, life is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Creation is beautiful. Love is beautiful. Even if you haven't experienced it. Everything is it's a goddamn miracle. There are no mistakes. Daughter wasn't a mistake. I wasn't a mistake. This universe isn't a mistake. It's all part of consciousness and a plan, you know? A plan of creation and being and experience. I'm sure of that. It's all a goddamn miracle. And when you can see it in all its glory, everything is just fine and dandy. Everything. I see it sometimes. I think I see it now. And you just feel nothing but love and gratitude and appreciation for every single moment, every single experience, happiness, pain. It's all the same. It's all wonderful. It's all beautiful. It's all amazing. Okay. Oopsie. That's okay. Oof. Big leg. Whoa. Wait. Whoa. Yeah, we can throw those in the garbage bags. Whew. Nothing like pushing yourself. Nothing like being tired as hell, covered in blood. We go fishing next week, and it's gonna be the same thing. Super tired, covered in fish guts and blood. And why do we do it? I think it's just so we feel more alive. And boy, oh boy, when you're this tired and this bloody, with this much meat, you feel alive. Definitely. All right. For anybody who hasn't experienced it, I definitely recommend it. Nothing like pushing yourself. You'd be very surprised how far you can go. You can go very, very far. That's how we're made. That's how we're designed. So, always take it as far as you can go. That's why we're here. To push the limits of our experiences. Push the limits of imagination. Pushing the limits. Because you never know how much you can experience until you push as far as you can go. Ooh. Boy, am I pushing today. Whew. Work in the evening, moving all day. Made 6 spears. Cut 2 deers. 6 spears, 2 deers, and a partridge on a pear tree. Sorry I'm delirious. No, I'm not sorry. I don't give a shit. I'm living. Whew. And if you have the chance and opportunity, I recommend you live too. However, that is for you. For me, I guess it's blood and guts. Okay. Yeah, we're done. Whoa. Okay. Oof. Got my car turned around today. Usually I'm backing this sucker out of here. I'm tired in the middle of the night. That is scary. I'm lucky I haven't pushed myself off a cliff yet. Anyways, we're done. thank you for listening to my strange rant. Peace and